This is a 24-year-old, and since she was 20, she's been under the care of a psychiatrist for bipolar disorder. Now, let's stop and think about bipolar disorder. First of all, understand that your endocrine glands control literally everything. All the chemical processes of the body happen under the orifice, basically, of those, including enzymes. With that said, then it also has a reaching factor into the emotional side and the mental side of the individual soul that uses these bodies. And keep in mind, it isn't you that have this problem. It's your bodies that have this problem. Don't associate yourself with these problems. And the best thing you can do is don't consider the disease that you're afflicted with, because then that disempowers you to find wellness. And this is all about cells and the function of cells. There is no such thing as diseases. There is such a thing as cells not performing properly. There is such a thing as cells that not producing the adequate hormones, steroids, neurotransmitters, and the like that we need for all the processes to happen. So anyway, what I'm getting at here is, Victoria, you want to work on your endocrine glands, particularly the parathyroid and thyroid. That's depression. You want to build that up. And in your age, these glands are going to be down all over the place. The anxieties, the worry, that sort of thing, the shyness, the introvertness, all these things come out of the adrenal glands. Check your blood pressures, low adrenals. So you want to really work on the adrenals. Psychiatrists, they don't get it. They think these things exist in Never Land. And yet you have a physical connection to all your etheric bodies of the mind and of the emotions. And these are the glands. In Hinduism and Buddhism, they use the word chakras. Here we know them as the endocrine glands. And these are energy centers that radiate inward and outward, both. After these years, my situations start to become much critical. Because one of the known facts is antidepressants causes suicide tendencies. I mean, it's just there's nothing good about the treatment of mental health cases. And I hate to use the word mental health because it's really a wrong way to look at this. I gave up the pills. There are such manifestations of the body, hardly can someone imagine. The doctors I have been never spoke about the side effects of these drugs. And I latent became just as obedient patient without power of decision. I am in the period where I am searching new methods except the conventional one, which start to be a very cruel fight. Yeah, I feel sorry for this young lady. I tell you, at her age, is a young woman here up against a monster machine. I am happy I found your book. Oh, thanks, sweetheart. And I first trust in your words and trust in the herbs. I really don't know how to start detoxification. I would like to put new natural fundamental for my healthy. Dr. Robert, I would like to buy some herbals for my disease. Get rid of the word disease, sweetheart. This is a weakness in the endocrine gland system. If you are heavy fungal up, this even accentuates the problem. Generally, those people have weak adrenals or heavily fungal up. So this is detoxification, is the process of cleaning out the body of acids and inflammation and things that impact the glands and cells. But it's also a process of regenerating the cells, which includes the endocrine glands. And it's a big focus that all the YouTubers, all you guys working, always know that the glands are a must-do. The glands are a must-do, the kidneys are a must-do, the GI tract is a must-do. That directly impacts the two fluids. Always clean the liver up for a month or so, and the spleen if you want to. That directly impacts the blood, that sort of thing. What do I suggest for the beginning? And can't I take this meanwhile my psychiatric treatment? Absolutely, Victoria. You can do that. You can definitely stay on your meds while you're doing this. It's going to want to detoxify these meds out, but that's okay because at the same time, you're enhancing the function of the glands. So when I have a case like this, the first thing I do is, what would I do on myself? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going after my adrenal glands and kidneys. So I'm going to take, especially in a case like this where you're dealing in a 20-year-old, you know it's highly genetic in terms of gland function or lack thereof, you're going to use the glandulars. I'm sorry, that's what I would be doing. So I'm going to use the adrenal 400s on my case. I'm going to probably use 1-3 times a day. If the blood pressure is real low, I'm going to go up to 2-3 times a day. Same time, I'm going to do a kidney capsule, and I'm going to do a kidney tincture. I start out with kidney number 1 capsule and a kidney number 2 tincture, and then after a month or so, I'm probably going to shift to a kidney number 3 capsule and a kidney number 4 tincture, and then I'll repeat. I'm also going to pee in a jar, and I'm going to look at my urine to make sure I'm getting some filtration going. And I'm going to watch that just for the fun of it, just to see that going on. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my pituitary gland. And I'm going to probably take a pituitary glandular for 1 bottle, let's say, and I'm going to do 1 pill in the morning and 1 pill in the afternoon. I would probably do that. At the same time, I'm going to do a parathyroid glandular, and I'm going to do those, I think I'll do those 1-3 times a day for myself, and then I also think I'm going to take kelp supplements. That's high calcium, high iodine. That's going to bring up that high calcium in the body. It's going to lift me up out of depression and things. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to probably take 1 or 2 capsules of 500 milligram kelps for, 2 or 3 times a day easy. And of course, I'm after my kidneys now. I'm after my glands now. Once that 1 bottle of pituitary is done, I'm probably going to come off of that, watch my parathyroid. I'm probably do 2 bottles of parathyroid. Then I'm going to check my basal temperatures under my arm to make sure my basal temperatures are in the upper 97s or low 98s. I'm going to watch my blood pressure, both arms. I'm going to see where I'm at, because I know I need to have my blood pressure up to 120/60 at least. If I'm too high above 70, then my kidneys are going down. And if I'm too low on the top number, I know my adrenal neurotransmitters are down, because you want 120 or more on the top. The other thing I would do is do a liver gallbladder formula, probably for a month, because I know these chemical medications are breaking down my liver a little bit, so I'm definitely going to take that. Another thing I like is upper circulation and brain and nerve. I like that upper circulation because it moves blood aggressively in the head area, which is the central nervous system, directly impacts the autonomic. So I'm going to bring more oxygenated blood into my brain cells. And at the same time, I'm going to take brain and nerve probably number 2, because it strengthens the nervous system. And that's another thing that I want to do, is strengthen my nervous system. And so doing all those things together, I would also shift my diet. No animal products except for the glandulars. I would take minimal vegetables, and I would go high fruits. Lots of grapes. I love grapes. Lots of grapes. Blueberries, bananas, things like this. A big bowl of fruit, and I would really love on that fruit. At the same time, I'd work on becoming and loving myself, knowing that I'm okay. I would spend time alone and go, you know what, I'm okay. So use these flower essences for your moods. Every psychiatrist should be using flower essences and going after the endocrine glands. Bipolar, depression, parathyroid, anxieties, nervousness, the adrenal glands. Come on, guys. Get up there and stop treating with antidepressants and all these psychotropic drugs. Psychotropic drugs? Psychotic drugs.